This is the Premier League team of the season so far. Some very, very interesting picks. We're going to start off in goal. Verbruggen. This guy's gone right under the radar. If he was playing at Chelsea, playing at Man United, he would get so many more plaudits than he does playing for Brighton. He's 22 years old. He's massive. He's a great, great reflex shot stopper and very, very good with his feet as well. And at 22 years old, I'm going to make a big prediction about Verbruggen. I think he's going to be the first £100 million goalkeeper. I know it's crazy, but the way Brighton develop these players and hold on to them just to the right moment where a big club needs a keeper, they need a left-back in Cucurella, Caicedo, a few of them are Chelsea, but Chelsea could do with a keeper like Verbruggen who dominates the area, has got such a high ceiling. He could genuinely be a world-class keeper for over a decade, 15, 20 years even, if he plays till he's 40. I know it's a big shout, but there aren't that many world-class keepers in waiting like Verbruggen is. I think he'll be the first £100 million keeper. 2 clean sheets in 9. This isn't the best Brighton defence in the world. They're not really about their defence, but I think he's made them a lot better. And he's a top keeper. So Verbruggen in goal. Let me know what you think about that one down below. Right back, Aina. He is unbelievable. He's so good going forward, so good defensively, consistent, and parachuted Nottingham Forest into the Champions League positions a few weeks ago. They've dropped down a little bit since, but they've been punching above their weight. Forest been slagged off from Forest fans on Twitter relentlessly for thinking they were going to get relegated. And Aina's probably been their best defender, but actually the whole back four has been fantastic, and the keeper as well. Scored a worldie against West Ham United, and there are a few selections you could put in there for sure. You can't have everyone being a Liverpool player. That's the issue. You can't have the whole 11 of the Liverpool players because there are a few Liverpool players that have to get in this 11 for me. The 2 centre-backs are the Liverpool centre-backs, Konate and Van Dijk. These guys, they don't remind me of the Man City back line that won the treble a few years ago. They don't remind me of Terry and Carvalho. They remind me of Vidic and Rio Ferdinand. 2 players that were great on the ball. Rio Ferdinand probably a little bit more saucy on the ball. Van Dijk and Konate are both off the ball, world-class defenders in terms of position, in terms of power in the tackle, in terms of reading the game, their speed, their athleticism. And then you've got Van Dijk as that kind of a little bit more senior Premier League legend like Rio Ferdinand was to Nemanja Vidic. It reminds me of Vidic and Ferdinand 2008, 2009. And they are powerhouse in their way towards Liverpool being favourites towards the Premier League title race. They are keeping loads of clean sheets, and the amount of goals away conceded for Liverpool is absolutely outrageous. They've got a mean defence, and the cornerstone of that is the centre-back partnership. I think it's a better I'd rather take that partnership than Gabriel and Saliba 1,000,000%. I think you can debate Ruben Diaz and John Stones legitimately. John Stones has a few injury concerns all the time, of course. But right now, the best centre-back partnership in world football is Konate and Van Dijk. These are not really debates, are they? Let's be completely real. The best left-back in the Premier League so far this season has to be Marc Cucurella. I can't stand the guy. He is beyond frustrating. But like with a few other Chelsea players that I might have to put in this list, the £65 million fee, the most expensive fullback in the history of football, is getting diluted. It's not a bigger hit anymore. The market's gone up in value. And if he performs at this level for the next 3 or 4 years and delivers Chelsea Champions League football, Premier League titles, and dare I say it, even more, then Cucurella is actually beginning to look like a decent buy. He really is. The first season, he was shocking. I'm not going to sit here and say he wasn't. He was absolutely shocking. But he's turned into someone that's very, very smart on the ball, big in the tackle, and that kind of shithouse player that you don't want playing against you, but you love to get up for if they're on your side. They're not likable. You don't want, not every footballer like maybe Kante or someone like R9, these kind of universally loved footballers, even Thierry Henry, dare I say it. He's not universally loved. I bet he's hated by 90% of Spanish fans as well, despite what happened in the Euros. But he is absolutely fantastic. Bombs forward very, very well. I think he's being managed and coached very well by Enzo Maresca. Clearly, something is working because his form's been absolutely fantastic in the league this season. The midfield selections, there's an argument Ryan Gravenberch has been the best midfielder in Europe this season. I can't believe it. I really can't. I've not seen a positional change that has caused this much improvement in a player in a very, very long time. It doesn't happen often. We like to think these managers are kind of geniuses in bringing people from midfield into number 10 or asking a striker to drop deep. It very, very rarely works. Guardiola's tried it a few times and actually failed a few times in trying to make big positional changes to players. It doesn't always work. It really doesn't. It has for Gravenberch. It has for Arne Slot. He's dropped deeper. He's a ball line playmaker of the highest quality. His first touch is outrageous. The way he drives with the ball, it never feels like he's going to lose it. And actually, defensively, I've got to hold my hands up. Sometimes when you're doing these videos, you do get things wrong, lads. And positionally, he's so good off the ball. He reads the game exceptionally well. He's got this kind of athleticism. He reminds me of Diaby at Arsenal a little bit of the Yaya Toure about him as well. I think he's even got more goals to his game. I think eventually he will add a few more goals as well. I know he's playing deep, but he's got a great finish as well. Gravenberch has been the best player in the league, so it's easy to put him in this 11. Alongside him, it has to be Moises Caicedo alongside him. I mean, he's been absolutely outrageous. The amount of distance he covers ranks right at the top in the Premier League. The goal against Manchester United was unbelievable finish. His passing has been fantastic. And what I like about his passing is in defensive midfield, sometimes it's about the speed of pass. It's about controlling the tempo of the game. It's not just about firing things in first time or hitting things hard. Sometimes he'll play a slow little ball into someone, get it back, then he'll speed up the pass. He actually is manipulating the speed of Chelsea's play. He's not just someone that works hard off the ball. He's very, very good on it as well. And he's added that goal against Manchester United, which was absolutely huge for Chelsea, kind of, keeping themselves afloat just above Manchester United. But he's been absolutely fantastic at the base of midfield. Have to put in Cole Palmer in the number 10. He has dropped off in the last few weeks. Form against the Big Six hasn't been great. Against Liverpool, against Arsenal, against Manchester United, he was a little bit flat. He was, I think, positionally. I don't know if he's coming too deep. I think sometimes he's a little bit too wide. And sometimes he's trying things. Against Arsenal, he really was trying everything. Nutmegs. And Ben White actually... There was a moment where Ben White really bullied Cole Palmer. We've not seen that for a few weeks. We really haven't. So he has to be a little bit smarter. And there is an argument. That's why Guardiola got rid of him. I'm not saying it's the right decision. But against Big Six opposition, he did lose the ball a few too many times when I've seen Chelsea this season. Trying too many things. Trying to be the Maverick too many times, in my opinion. But his record, even since the start of last season, is out of this universe. It's up there with Haaland and Salah, these kind of goal scorers. He's doing it from number 10 position. It's outrageous. So he has to be in. On the right is Mohamed Salah. This guy is, he's the best forward in the Premier League. You can debate Gravenberch. The amount of goals, the goal against Brighton, he is smashing things. He's got so much confidence. He's running at people. He's as lean, athletic as he was 4 or 5 years ago in his late 20s. And he's 32, 33. It's absolutely unbelievable. And Liverpool have to keep this guy. They have to do everything in their power to keep him at the club. And I think he can genuinely be good enough to guide them towards a Premier League title and or a Champions League title in the next couple of years if he stays. But he's been in unbelievable form. Down the middle, we have to have Erling Haaland. I know Chris Wood gets a big shout. Don't get me wrong. He's been unbelievable. But if you still scored 12 goals in 11 games, City is still second in the table. City have still started the season unbelievably. Haaland was breaking all sorts of records. And we're not just going to throw Haaland out of the way just because Chris Wood's banged in a few goals against West Ham. Come on, man. 12 goals in 11 appearances. He's single-handedly kept City afloat with the Rodri injury, in my opinion. And he's got more goals to his game. When City find out the midfield solution, this guy will be getting back to the numbers that he was doing in the first 8 weeks of the Premier League. We're going to play Mbeumo on the left, if that makes sense. So you've got Salah on the right and Mbeumo coming in off the left as well. One of the highest scorers in the Premier League so far. I think he's just behind Haaland, joint with Chris Wood. I know it's Brentford, but you have to include a little bit of the size just below. Again, they're punching above their weight. Again, they're being perfectly executed by Thomas Frank. And they've handled the fact they've lost Ivan Toney very, very well, in my opinion. I know it's Brentford, but Mbeumo's been at points he's guaranteed to get you a goal or assist this season. And he's taken the limelight from Ivan Toney in a big, big way. So you have to put in Mbeumo off the left. And the manager has to be Arne Slot. This guy is the most successful. He's having the most successful start to a Premier League season of any big club in the last 20 years. I know Conte came in. It wasn't the same kind of start that Conte had. It wasn't. And he obviously turned it around and won the Premier League title. This is as big as Jose Mourinho at Chelsea. It really is. Fergie didn't have this transition. Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp took a few years. Arne Slot's got his side almost as perfectly balanced as it possibly could be, and he's barely spent any money. That is a testament to how good this guy's been. He's been the best manager in Europe this season. Their record in Europe's been fantastic. Only the third loss for Bayer Leverkusen in the last couple of years, and that was down to a 4-0 win to Liverpool. They've been absolutely fantastic. What can I say? Leave your comments down below. Can Liverpool keep up the form? Quite a few Liverpool players in there. Leave me your 11s down below, and I'll see you very, very soon.